So now that Del Toro has become an Academy Award-winning director, can we stop with this narrative where he is the most underappreciated auteur filmmaker working in Hollywood? As of last Sunday night, the man can take a shit on Meryl Streep's front porch and light it on fire and still get a mulligan. Anyway, on to the review. Pacific Rim never stood a chance of making a profit from American audiences back when it was released to theaters 5 years ago. I mean, how could it? It was one of many big-budget summer blockbusters featuring monsters and/or robots destroying cities on a massive scale. It featured a diverse multinational cast without many major stars. The inspiration for the film were Japanese kaiju movies like Godzilla, and the film included globalist international cooperation as part of its plotline. So yeah, all things that didn't necessarily sell well to American audiences circa 2013, and explains why it flopped domestically. Which is too bad because the film itself is terrific. Pacific Rim was crafted by the auteuristic vision of Guillermo Del Toro that shows the man's heart for great characters, fun sequences, thrilling big-scale action sequences, giant monsters, and classic Japanese B-movie cinema. It's more or less Del Toro's love letter to everything that inspires him as a filmmaker and arouses him sexually. The movie takes place in the not-too-distant future where monstrous aliens called Kaiju ascend from the bottom of the Pacific Ocean via a portal from space and wreak havoc on the world Godzilla style. In response to this new potentially world-ending threat, the nations of the world unite and pool their resources and create a counter to the Kaiju in the Jaeger program. And no, the Jaeger program is not about creating booze machines or elite hockey players. In fact, Jaegers are giant robots designed to be piloted by two people who are mentally linked so that they can fight Kaiju. By the film's start, a washed-up Jaeger pilot named Riley, who retired after a failed mission that killed his brother, is called back into action by Idris Elba's Stacker Pentecost in order for him to join the remaining Jaeger pilots to make one last desperate attack against the Kaiju so that humanity has a chance to survive. What stands out most to me are the characters who are unique, likable, and, most importantly, all have their own character arcs that allow the audience to get emotionally invested in the story, characters, and action. The most important character arcs of which are Riley and the rookie Mako, who both have to overcome past traumas in order to pilot a Jaeger together, and watching their sometimes awkward yet sweet chemistry develop is a joy that emotionally equals the thrill of watching a giant fucking robot punch a giant fucking monster in the fucking face.
Elbow rocket! Elbow rocket. Engage. Now!
Additionally, much of the supporting cast has their own plot arcs as well. Seriously, the film is like Oprah when it comes to plot arcs. You get an arc! You get an arc! Everybody gets an arc! Just to list a few, Idris Elba is a tough-as-nails commander who may secretly hide a more vulnerable side. There's an Australian father-son team-up of Herc and Chuck Hansen who are Jaeger pilots and have to overcome their own awkward relationship because the son is a douche nozzle. And then, of course, there's the scientist comedy relief characters who are the bumbling bookworm Herman Gottlieb, which you might remember the actor Bern Gorman from his brief stint in Game of Thrones where he drinks wine out of the skull of Gior fucking Mormont, and he has to learn how to cooperate with his lab partner, which is the outgoing, tatted up daredevil Dr. Newton, played by Charlie Day, who, by the way, is peak Charlie Day in this. And if you understand what peak Charlie Day is, then you know how fucking enjoyable that is to watch.
Is your cat making too much noise all the time?
As you can tell, the film's themes are about cooperating with others in order to overcome obstacles, and what's really cool about Pacific Rim is that these themes are present in the action by virtue of how the Jaegers are piloted by two people working in sync via mental link. So when you watch Riley and Mako pilot their Jaegers, zap Kaiju with plasma blasts, and hit a flying monster upside the head with a boat, this isn't just fun action that you enjoy while shoveling a handful of buttery popcorn down your gullet, but what it actually is character development through action, and that is something that is very rarely done well. And yet, Del Toro and company pull this off flawlessly in a film that is just so much damn fun to watch. Beyond the epic scale of the action and the cool monster designs, there are just so many things that make you just have to say the words awesome to. I mean, it's really cool that the Jaeger pilots are treated like rock stars. The set designs and the writing around the underground black market selling kaiju parts run by Ron Perlman is a treat. There's the guy that looks like Rob Schneider writer, there's the enjoyable B-movie dialogue, and then there's the scientist characters who are comically over the top in the best way possible. It's all just such a joy to behold. So even with all that going for it, Pacific Rim was underseen but has a strong cult following in the States for a good reason, and that is because it's really damn good. The action is exhilarating, characters are endearing, it's charmingly goofy, has a strong female character in Mako, which is worth a video in and of itself, and it's just so damn fun. Hopefully we'll say the same about Pacific Rim Uprising when it comes out soon. My final score for Pacific Rim is a 5 out of 5. See ya.